task list provides a step-by-step route through learning materials. This might be a simple lesson or learning that goes on for days or even weeks. They're ideal for revision, and you can also set a task list for a colleague who's going to be covering your lessons. Each step in a task list includes a title, an optional description which we haven't got here, and a resource, and very quick and easy to build. So let's see how to create a task list. If I start on the front page or the dashboard of Fusion, you can go to tasks from Quick Links here or from the Quick Links menu. Click this button to create a new task list and give the task list a name. I then assign it to my class. So I choose the class it's being assigned to. I can assign it to all the students in the class, to everyone in the class, and that would include adult members of the class. Or I can choose specific people in the class to assign it to. But I'll just assign this one to all students. There's a start date, which is today, but you can change that if you want, so you can set it for the future. And you can also provide a due date. This mainly provides an indication of when the task list is due, and it will note when the student completes it after the due date. There is a box for teachers' notes. This is just for your own information and it's not visible to students. Okay, so really all I've done here is I've given it a name and assigned it to some students. And then I click to create my task list. Now remember, this is a task list, so what we have at the moment is an empty task list. There's no tasks in here, so I need to add all the individual steps or tasks that I want my students to do. So you then go in and add your task items by clicking this button. When you add a task, you've got the title, the description, and the resource. I can also add an individual due date per task. So I'm going to go off and find a resource for this particular task. I've got some choices. I can get a file from within Fusion. I can upload a file from my computer. I can add an activity. Now, activity means taking the students to a blog post, a forum thread, or even to a piece of homework or another task list. And finally, I can add a web link. So I'm going to get all my files from inside Fusion. So I'm going to click on File, and I'm going to navigate. So here's all the resources that I'm going to use for my task list. I just click on one of them and that adds it to the task list. I've just got to go back and create a title for this. Now the titles can be used as simple instructions. So I could say just simply watch video. If I wanted to, I could put a description, so I could say when you're watching the video, look out for something particular, but I'm just going to leave it as a title and a resource, and I'm going to click Add Task. New task item. Again, just going to go and fetch a file. Okay, so that was adding and subtracting, so I'm going to do another adding and subtracting video. And add task. One very useful thing you can do in task lists is to add a quiz. So I'm going to go and add a quiz into my task list. And I have a quiz here ready to use. Now you'll see when you add a quiz that you have an option here to say what the pass mark is for that quiz. So if I say that the students have to get 50% to pass, what this will do is it will stop them moving forward in their task list until they pass that quiz. And it says here 50% to progress. And then I'll add a final item to the task list. Something to read. Here we go. Okay, so I've finished my task list. It's already been assigned to the students in my Year 6 group. If I click on View Results, you can see that all my students are here, and at the moment, obviously none of them have completed the task list.